Alrighty, hey everybody. Getting started just a minute early here. And how's everybody doing? I am at home still. Cause well, it doesn't snow here. And well, I guess it does now. As you can see in the picture here. This is the picture out back. And got a kitty playing around on my lap here. And yeah, so this much snow in Knoxville kind of puts a kibosh on most of everything. They actually shut the airport down from yesterday until sometime this afternoon. That's like the first time I can recall that happening since ever. I don't remember them ever shutting the airport down, and it was pretty wild. So don't move the mic around, little kitty. Come on now. Um, yeah. So crazy stuff. I'm still at home. I've been at home yesterday and today. It was snowing. I decided not to venture out yesterday morning. It was just a dusting, but it was supposed to snow all day. And well, by almost this time last night, we had 9 inches. Is what I posted that in the off-topic channel in Discord. So, and there's the S5FI dropping below 80. The alert. So we'll get to requests here in just a minute. We're going to talk about financial earnings a little bit. MLK, how it's typically bearish. I went through that this morning. You'll have to bear with me. I don't have my prompter and everything. I've just got a laptop and camera and mic and lights and not all the lights. And I do have a green screen that I just got. So anyway, yeah, our town doesn't, I mean, maybe we have 6 plows, maybe 4 plows. I don't know. We only have 4 or 5, 6 plows. A couple salt trucks. We're just not set up to plow 10 inches of snow off the ground in one day. It just kind of shuts this place down. There were 4-wheelers driving up and down the road last night, just doing crazy stuff. I don't even know what was going on. I haven't ventured out. I did go remove about 2 feet of snow off my AC unit because it slipped off the roof and was covering the whole thing. But yeah, they're talking about rolling blackouts potentially tomorrow morning. I guess it's supposed to be like an amazing 6 degrees in the morning, and they're not sure the grid's going to handle it. That'll be awesome. Yeah, -1, -1 with the wind chill. Yeah, stupid. That's what Kimberly's over here saying. So anyway, yeah, crazy. What's up, Sledge? We got I measured 9 inches outside, and right out there in the picture. You can see the composter and the chairs and stuff like that. Tons of snow, just ridiculous. We don't get this kind of snow. You don't either, Sledge. You know how this is. Crazy stupidness. Anyway, just kind of they shut down some of the major roads almost till late this afternoon, and I haven't been to the office. My bot that I have that puts messages in Discord, something went a little weird with it. I'll have to go when I can venture out and go to the office. I'll go do that. So yeah, I'm not a snowy winter guy. I've been inside all day. I don't know. Hopefully the sun's gonna melt some of this off. My dad was like, oh, he got out this afternoon. He's like, oh, it's fine. The road's just white and cars are just parked in the street. And no big deal. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to Florida. So last time it snowed like this, 1993. That was almost 30 years ago. So I guess 31 years ago. So yeah, this is ridiculous. Anyway, we've had 4 or 5 inches since then, but this is the most it snowed since 1993. So yeah. Anyway, getting on with it, and let's go ahead and there we go. Put me little in the corner. Like I said, we're going to talk about financial earnings and MLK, how it's typically bearish. If you missed the story this morning, here we go. Last year, had a little bit bearish. The year before, a lot of it bearish. And we're only up 38% of the time this week. So there's my more alerts going off. That was cool. I'm not even sure what that was for. Anyway, little kitty's like on full alert here. Typically, we're down 0.3% for this week, for MLK week. So only 38% of the time are we up. That makes, what, 62% of the time we're down? I mean, be careful out there. We may end up down. So, yeah, I think we had 1984. In 1984, I think we had 13 inches on Easter. Oh, that was a hard one to remember for me. I was just a little dude, probably waist high. Anyway, yeah, doesn't snow here very often. Don't like this anyway. We went a whole 10-year stretch without any snow days at all when I was in school. I was like, why do we even have snow days? It doesn't snow here. So we'll see what happens. The snow just got done snowing this morning, so no chance to melt off. I don't think we got out of the teens today. So just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyway, glad to have everybody. If you want to chat on the live stream like all these awesome people saying hey and talking to me about the snow, links over there. Click the subscribe button. Be a subscriber on the channel. A few seconds later, you can chat on the live stream. Looks like we have about 61 people watching right now. That's cool. And hope everybody's a subscriber. Hope everybody's on the live stream chat. So, with this week being an abbreviated week, MLK, don't really expect it up a ton. Don't really expect it up a ton. And now, looking at financial earnings, we did kick off financial earnings kind of in force last Friday. Then we got the holiday Monday. We had Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Applied, Blockchain, PNC, Mercantile, First Bank, and Gantry all this morning. This afternoon here, we have Interactive Brokers Progress. I can't even read that one. Hancock, Calvo, Fulton Financial, and Pinnacle Bank. They've got several branches around here. And in the morning, we have Charles Schwab, Prologis, U.S. Bank Corp, and Citizens. Then all the rest of the week, we have like Discover Financial, Truist, First Horizon, MT Bank, Key Bank, Northern Trust. Lots more of the smaller and regional banks coming in later this week. If that's something you're following, watch out. We typically see, as financials report, we typically see that money flow out of financials, which we've already seen on the charts. Is that money flowing out? It flows into big tech, which we've kind of already seen that happening too. And then we'll see big tech start reporting earnings. We'll see money flow out of big tech usually, and then disperse throughout the rest of the market. Where exactly it's going to go, not so sure. Healthcare might be a place. It was an underperformer, one of the bottom performers last year. Energy was also ultimately one of the bottom performers last year. So we may see energy and healthcare are two potentials. They're not going to be outperformers this year, just going to necessarily, but they were the bottom performers last year. So that money may flow from big tech into those underperforming opportunities and bring them back up into at least the middle, if not come up near higher in the tiers. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, all right. So, like I always talk about, you have those two topics. You know, we hit the main two topics basically, which was financial earnings and MLK. And all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. If you desire personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor. And there you go. So we got to make sure we give me a thumbs up too, and interact with the video. Share with friends. That's all the give me a like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Make sure you hit the bell with the notifications so you get all the notifications when I go live, or just set your reminders. I go live every morning at 9:15, and then Tuesdays at 5 p.m. we do this show right here, 30 Minutes of Awesome, where I'm going to take your requests after I get through a little bit of the market. So that was the morning list and the afternoon list here. Let's just hit a few things. So S&P 500, we ended up red. I don't know who said we might be a red day. That's kind of the theme of the day, was just kind of choppy red, but we didn't really go anywhere. When you ultimately look at it, if we really zoom up and look at it, didn't really go anywhere. Like, just nowhere. Didn't push. I mean, just inside the last couple of days. Didn't really push out. Didn't really break down. Didn't do anything. So even though it seemed like lots of stuff was bearish, it didn't really go anywhere. Wrongomer got out, huh? Out in the snow. Have fun out there. Don't wreck nothing. Don't tear it up. Anyway, It's not you necessarily. It's all the other ding dongs out there driving around. Wreck your nice Beamer. Anyway, ES. Looks kind of like, might we be topping out? I don't know. Push on down. Is that gonna play out? I don't know. Can't say. At this point, this Nasdaq had a green doji, but again, doesn't make me feel too strongly about either direction. I'm thinking maybe the big blue arrow down, maybe. Russell still chugging lower, even though we got a pretty good long trade to the upside. Never filled the gap and continued to push lower. So we may, in fact, see that come on down. That one's the one that's consistently performing to the downside. Oil gave up some of the, it was jumping around there. Gave up some of that potential upside, and then really just inside consolidation in a smaller range. Watermelon seed squeeze type action right there. Brent, same sort of action, not really going anywhere. Gasoline, pushing higher a little bit. If this goes on a run, it doesn't look too good for Biden getting reelected, especially if we get up here at the roadmap line and break above. Keep an eye on that one. That is actually a higher low setup. We could go higher here on gasoline, so watch for that one to break out of this channel. We could rally up into the roadmap line. If we can break through, we could retrace and go even higher. So keeping an eye on that one. Heating oil, diesel fuel, big this week, but looks like this bomb cyclone is going to pass on, and we're not going to have the colder temperatures. So heating oil, not huge demand, but diesel fuel might cause this to break out. So far, we got a higher high, higher low, and small retrace. Can we maintain the channel, break above the roadmap line, and get some extension? We'll see what's happening. Natural gas. Oh, bomb cyclone's over. A few more days. They're already calling for like 60s, possibly 70s next week. I don't know. We'll see. Don't believe it till it happens. So we'll see what happens late this week here in Knoxville. But snow is not going to be around for very long, apparently. This might drop back down to the bottom of the range. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. See this break back down. That was the lower high on natural gas. Gold, the metal. Now, while we had an inside day on stuff like oil in S&P and Nasdaq, gold actually making an engulfing candle to the bear side compared to Friday's action. That may have been all the rally here, and we may get that extension down to this 1960, 1970 area I've been looking for, somewhere around the roadmap line. And if we break down, we could go even further down the rabbit hole. We'll see what we get to first. 1980, 1960, 70, and somewhere in this zone. Got a big target oval there. Silver, well, still sideways. That is choppy, overlapping, sideways, garbly-gook. No direction. I mean, you could say that's a head and shoulders, but I don't think we're going to get the continuation. I mean, see that shoulder, head, shoulder. I don't think we're going to get the continuation. We could very well do it. And just in case you don't see it, it's right here. She is right in there. So that would mean the head to the neckline, roughly like that, would be the target right at the bottom of the box, around 20. Did we do it? Could possibly. I mean, it's entirely possible we drop right on down here. Entirely possible. We'll see what happens. Time frame on that? No great time frame idea, but this has been moving pretty fast on these spikes. So, I mean, something like that wouldn't take us very long. Could do it by end of January, sometime first week or so of February. So that would be a big flush out and could potentially clean this thing up. I mean, that's a lot of sideways, choppy, nasty stuff that we've had for the last year and 3 months. Come on, silver. Clean this thing up. Let's get out of here. Copper. still not looking super bullish. And as I was alluding last week, 38% of companies are already planning layoffs for 2024. Lower demand on jobs usually means lower demand on commodities such as copper. And we may see this drop on down. We'll see what happens. So, not the most strong thing we got going on there. Sugar dropping out. That's good for all those sugary processed foods we see. Finally coming off the top a little bit. Got a long way to go back to the historical kind of lows in here. And we're up at what has historically been kind of highs. We poked up higher. Do we come on down? I don't know. We're at this consolidation zone that we had for most of 22. Kind of glanced off of it. Do we break on down? Do we bounce and go higher? Not so sure. Cattle finally coming off the highs there. Retesting the roadmap line. Do we go lower? I'm telling you, my grocery bill would appreciate going lower on beef. That's for sure. And pork actually came way off the highs really quickly. Came back up to the roadmap line and maybe pushing lower. 84 cents a pound. I mean, that's a pretty fair price wholesale for pig right there. Down with a pig. Anyway, that's kind of the general right there. I know several people want to know about Bitcoin, so I'll throw that up really quickly. And Bitcoin is kind of chugging in this channel here. And for whatever reason, I don't have the channel on this chart, so we'll just draw this channel right here from right back here, right up like this. Connect the lows, connect the highs. We're kind of hanging near the bottom of the channel. If we break down, probably come into the roadmap line. If we break out, who knows? We could do something crazy. Right now, kind of expecting this to actually break down and revisit the roadmap line. How soon? Sometime between now and April. And we may just hang out and go sideways. Kind of like we may just chop in this range. We may dip down below 40 and spike up and just kind of chop around. Now, we're seeing a little bit of price action here. We're seeing money rotate out of, let's see if I got the chart up here. Yeah, let's pop this up. These are the spot ETFs. GBTC has 26.9 or had 26.9 billion dollars in it, but they're going to be charging a 1.5% fee, and there's no waiver on their fee. So they converted over from a trust to a spot ETF, and people are like jumping ship. They don't want to pay 1.5% a year on their Bitcoin. I mean, heck, you can just go to Coinbase and buy your Bitcoin for a 1% fee, and then when you sell it, you pay a 1% fee. If you hold it for more than 3 years, or more, if you hold it for, heck, 2 years, more than 2 years, you've already beat the fee for Grayscale, and that doesn't even count the expense fee. This is just the management fee. So ridiculous. I think people are rotating down into these cheaper funds. You got Bitwise at a 0.2% after 6 months, or $1 billion gets loaded into the fund. ARK coming in at 0.21. We're seeing iShares going to be at 0.12 for the first 12 months, or until $5 billion gets put in the fund, and then changing to a 0.25. Fidelity also at a 0.25. So there's your competition there. And those fees add up. So if you're in a long-term hold, if you don't sell some calls or something against your Bitcoin, then, and none of these have, I checked them, except for GBTC, I don't think any of them have calls so far. I didn't check GBTC because, well, it was a trust just last week. And I know BitB and ARKB and iBit and Burr and HODL, none of those had options yet. And BTCW. So it's all pending. And there you go. So if you're a member of Crypto Power Plays, I gave you the list of who's the leader. Right now, Grayscale is the leader at $27 billion. And then iShares, which is BlackRock, bought $500 million of Bitcoin, but their assets under management is only about $300 million so far. The rumor over the weekend, several articles coming out saying they cut a deal to sell $1 billion worth of shares to somebody. None of the articles were actually claiming who that was going to buy those $1 billion of shares. But I don't know. ARK, way down the list. Way down the list. Only like, I don't even remember. Way down the list. Less than 100 million. So most of these way down there. And one of them was teeny tiny. I think it's Wisdom Tree, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think it was Wisdom Tree was something ridiculous, like $3 million. That was how big the fund was. Just wickedly tiny, just teeny tiny. And I don't even know how they compete. But anyway, there you go. That's Bitcoin and the long and the short of it. Ethereum holding up pretty well. Maybe break out. Maybe take some of these altcoins with it. There you go. I've got a presentation coming up at 8 p.m. If you missed the presentation before, if you're in Discord, I'll throw the link in there. Got a presentation coming up at 8 p.m. to talk about crypto. Talk about my favorite 13-cent crypto. And there you go. So we are coming up to that time where we're going to do requests for at least 30 minutes. So the rules of the game: give me a ticker, one ticker please at a time, and give somebody else a chance to go. That's the bottom line. Give somebody else a chance to go, and if nobody else is gone by the time I get your ticker, you can throw another one at me. But that's how we're gonna do it. So I will do my best to get through them best I can. All right, ETSY is the first one I see. And don't have all my fun animations. Sorry. That one's going down. Bounce off the roadmap line. So we've got right there, target 52. And the bigger target I already had on there. So that's the intermediate target, then down to the target zone. Down here would not surprise me one bit. Right down there. There you go. So 52, then down to the 40s. Lame. All right. Zillow Group. That's just Z, right? Gotta learn your tickers, Beth. It was fun to have you at the in-person event. Glad you came. All right. So there's Zillow right there. And Sideways is what kind of the name of the game here. We are consolidating. In this sideways resistance here. Now, this is interesting, though. Looky. We did a 618 bounce. This is a measured bounce type setup. We have pushed higher, retraced, but came up at resistance at the prior high. No clear subwaves in this move right here. So that makes me wonder if that's a flat, part of a flat, like a WX, possibly a Y. Right back down into this zone, or if we're going to do a sub retrace right in here, maybe somewhere in this zone. Now remember, company performance not necessarily tied to stock performance, so we may see that retrace. Could find a bottom in this zone and then go up into this zone, and it could be pretty explosive. 120 wouldn't be out of the realm. And has a long way to go back up to that prior high up there before the housing market kind of blew up on them. So there we go. There's ultimate resistance, intermediate resistance with that gap right there. And right now we're kind of stuck under these prior highs. What do we do? Not sure yet. I would venture to guess a retrace based on that rollover. But we could push on out. If we get above these highs, somewhere around 66, that'd be pretty strong. I'll set an alert there, actually. There it is. All right. Moving on down the list, BA. Guess what? It's well on the way down to the support level. I mean, Sledge, how'd I get the door to pop off? Look at that, baby. Coming on down. Almost there. 150 to 180. That's the support zone. 150 to 180. And it's going fast, too. Wicked. Wicked. Anyway, that's where I expected. Go back down in the vicinity of the bottom of the 4 for this next larger 2. This is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a big 1 up. This 4 did not overlap this 1. So this is a bullish, impulsive move so far. And this even has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 3. So we may see this retrace back and down in this vicinity right here. Find support. And then if it holds this area, especially if it gets down to this 157 area, that's like a big potential load up area. If we can break back higher and get back above the roadmap line, we could be going significantly higher. Way up here. That could be a big trade. I mean, we're talking golly, you know, if you load it up at 200 on the way back up, 600, I mean, that's a 3xer right there, potentially, on that next move. All right. Moving on. AVGO. AVGO. Looks like we could go. That's a little mini echo type situation. Looks like we could push out to 1181, possibly 1220. But be careful. We're kind of stopping at that resistance when you zoom up and look at it a little bit. Kind of stopping at that 6.8 resistance there. If we respect that and start turning down, we may come back to the roadmap line. Down in this vicinity over here. Like that. Alrighty. XPE. RR? I'm going to guess you just meant 1R. XPER. Looks like some sideways choppy stuff. Yeah. That's got a range, and we're not really getting out of it, so. That's your IPO corrective choppy garbage. It may very well make one more lower low before it cleans this up. That's typical IPO choppy garbage. Corrective. See that 3-wave move there. No clear move there. Slightly lower low. 3 waves move up so far. Possibly 5, but looks like 3. If it retraces to a 618 and holds it, if we get back down to this $9 area, remember stuff near $10, you know, down around $10 doesn't really always follow the patterns, but if we hold that and turn higher, it could be the beginning, potentially the beginning of something bullish here. It looks kind of gnarly though. It's hard to see. So not highly confident, very low confidence on that holding. We may see it push down in the $7 area right there. All right, DWAC is usually been complete garbage. Still is garbage. Choppy sideways garbage with hype thrown in. We started out down here, popped up, marching on the way down to the basement. I mean, what are they going to do? Trump cock is what, I mean, are they actually going to take something public, or are they just, you know, going to stay as Digital World Acquisition Corp? I mean, Trump comes back on the scene. Does it matter for this? Is this ever going to make money? Probably not. Would not surprise me to come back down to the pre-SPAC number down there. Looks like garbage to me. Like, that's such a big down. I wouldn't trade it. You can do what you want to with your own money. I wouldn't trade it. Netflix and FLX. Remember, if I get to your ticker and I do anything that's beneficial for you, even if you don't like it, give me a like or a don't like or whatever, and just interact with the video. Netflix coming up shy of filling that gap. Gosh darn it. Come on, Netflix. Got my 1 share riding from 400. I would like to see that thing. It got really close. 502. Maybe I should have bailed at 502. I was busy though. I was busy Thursday and Friday. Still expect that 520 area right up there. That's where my alert is. 516. I actually have an order. I don't think you'd be able to see it. Let's see what I got the order on. Got the order at 505. So I came up just $3 shy. Come on. Could have got me. Man, that was so close. What was the high on that? What was the high on that? 503.40. So I was like $1.60, $1.59. Come on. Come on, Netflix. Anyway, I do still expect a spike up in there. So I got in at 401, out at 505. I mean, that's like 25%. I got in there at like in October, November, whatever it was, October. So November, December, January, 3 months, make 25%. It's not bad. Sometimes I get lucky. Anyway, moving on. ETHE has looked like garbage in the past and flowing up with Ethereum. I would be cautious. We have this prior consolidation rejection area that we're just getting up into with some red candles. Very careful. Very, very careful. Nothing tells me that's going higher necessarily. Yeah. No good information on earnings because they're not a traditional company. They're just a trust for holding Ethereum. Ethereum, I mean, if it's staked, it kind of makes money a little bit, but I don't know. Ethereum chart is not very bullish, so I would be very cautious chasing that one right now. I just would be. AMD. It finally hit the target at 157. I would be extremely cautious on this thing rejecting now that it hit the 1618. Does it have to? No. Can it climb the fib ladder? Yeah, it can go 2, 2.7, 272, 2618. And keep on climbing. Can keep extending. All right. Be careful. I am not shorting this because it can keep extending. It can keep climbing the fib ladder. Remember, trade when you have confirmation. That's not confirmation yet. That's just hitting targets on the upside. So be careful. It does not have to retrace from here. It can keep climbing. It can keep going. We can extend right on up 2618, 4618, 686. We can go all the way up there at the 370. Do I think it's going to do it? Not really. But it might. Fib ladder. It can just keep climbing the fib ladder. Entirely possible. So be careful shorting AMD at this point. For me, it's just on the not tradable list for now. Till it does do some sort of measurable move that I can count on for an extension. All right. Disney DIS. Have to excuse me. I'm on a laptop, so not the easiest to get everything. Usually I got my keyboard, the whole deal. So I'm just kind of don't even have all the lights that I normally have. So, all right, Disney right there, maybe 99, maybe 101, but it's got to get above that prior resistance level right there to be able to extend. And it's been on a heck of a push down, so that's a lower high, lower high, lower high. Watch for that breakdown. If that does break down, we could see that extension easily down into that $75 area, right down in there. That support zone is going to be right around that 85, 87 area, right in here. Maybe even a little lower, right there. To see that push down through there, and then tips the odds 70% likely to go down that area down there. All right, VIX. What do you want to know? I mean, it's just doing nothing. Popped a little bit today. May get a little extension, but it's probably, it's just kind of messing around there. May reach up and touch that roadmap line. I don't know. It's likely to pop between 15 and 20, but how long? How long before we do that? Considering consolidate, it's up off the lows. 12 was the lows, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I've got contracts out into February. If it doesn't pop, I'm going to eat them. So right now, not a lot happening. Not a lot happening. So there's just this one doesn't chart like it doesn't trend anywhere. So if a chart doesn't trend anywhere, it's kind of like S5FI doesn't trend anywhere. This one's never going to make higher highs. It's never going to zero either. So some people do Elliott wave stuff in here, but it's not one of those charts that's trending anywhere. It's like long term is just the resting is 20. We're below 20, likely to go about up to 20 at some point. Now you could say it's broken, or all the stories like VIX is never coming back. I've seen all sorts of ridiculous bullcrap lately. Well, it's going to pop again. It's popped in the past. It's going to pop again. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that we popped it all the way to an all-time high up here at 82. So, not that long ago, and now we're declaring it dead. Good luck with that. We'll probably see a pop before sooner or later, but maybe later, maybe sooner. I don't know. It's not really tradable. I just hold a couple contracts just in case something wild happens. All right, Crocs, CROX, lower high. Ugh. Try to break higher. Try to break lower. Try to break higher. That's just choppy sideways, overlapping garbage in a narrowing range. No continuation. Lower high. Way to mess up a chart. Now, if we can hold and break above some of these resistance levels, it's going up. But right now, no confidence in that doing anything whatsoever. No confidence. BBY. Is that Best Buy? Yeah. Excuse me. Well, that's a three-wave corrective. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Probably go 4, 5. We could get a little more downside in the 70, low 70 area. I mean, it's already 71, but this actual 70, maybe 69. May be able to find a bottom there. And from the low to the high. I should have cleaned off all the prior drawings, but there we go. Yeah, I might expect some bottoming action in this area if we can do that. Find support, break back up through the roadmap line. That would be actually really positive. How positive? You can see I was kind of expecting it to break on down back before. It didn't do that. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Refresh, recycle. And we could be looking at a move up to like this zone. But we got to get that move down here. Find that support around 60 to 70 or 65, 70, 67, 70 area. If we do that, it sets this up. If we don't do that, I'm less confident we're going to be able to muster that kind of strength, especially considering we've got these prior series of lower highs, and we stopped right on that. So that's going to be significant resistance to get through that downtrend line there, right there. That'll definitely be the resistance point. If we get through that, we're probably heading up here to 91, which, look at that, prior high, right there, right in that zone, right in the zone, auto zone. All right, OXY has been not that interesting. Back to the lows. Warren Buffett will probably buy another chunk. Every time we get down to this 56 area, he buys another chunk of the company. We're right back in the zone. Now, is this the time we push down to 52? Maybe. Maybe. We might. I've been looking for it for, gosh darn, half a year. Well, at this point, 7 months. Is this the time we push down? Maybe. That is a gnarly. 1, 2, 3, 4 doesn't overlap. Potentially 5. You can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that gets overlap. Well, that one gets sloppy. I'm not sure where the count is in there. We could extend down in this zone. Counting that one's difficult. Probably needs a final flush. If we do that, Oxy's probably a buy. If we get a move lower than anything lower than this can finish this up. Anything lower than there. Technically, that could have been the bottom, but this depth right here makes it look like we're going to go down again. So that's at least, yeah, somewhere in this zone, like that oval is still the zone right between the fibs. That's it. That's Oxy for you. IBM, don't see any bullishness. IBM pushing on out. Upside targets. Sometimes we don't bounce off the roadmap line on the daily chart. So this is going to be like a hourly, maybe? Yep, hourly bounce. And 168, 171 on the upside. Not huge upside numbers. Probably get up there. Probably retrace. Probably get the final move right up there. And then retrace bigger. That's IBM for you. And BIDU broke down. What a bummer. I got nothing. Probably extend down to 96. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, down in the zone. Low 90s. Didn't do the constructive bounce. Didn't hold the 618 either. That kind of wrecked that. Wrecked that pattern. Wrecked it. Dang near killed it. And probably heading down to this the low 90s. Would be my guess. How's JT's long trade on Baidu? Sucking wind right now. That's how it's going. Got time, so we'll see. I'm not going to bail yet. This still could be a measured bounce. We're just pushing the limits here. Still measured bounce all the way down here. It's really when we get below, if we make a new low, that this thing really gets wrecked. So I'm going to have to see something in the low 80s before I probably bail. If you're following me on that one, BHP, can't all be winners. So yeah, I don't always get it right. For those of you that call me the crystal ball market reader, don't always get it right. Baidu's sucking it up right there. BHP, potentially if we hold the roadmap line, could see 52, 53. If we don't, that may be part of the bigger correction that we see a move down in this 40 area down here. So either we're going to bounce up, get above that 618, go up to 52, or if we crush it on down, we could see that. That's BHP for you. HAG. So let's just remove all the drawings. See, we have this downtrend, right? Lower high, lower high. Got to get up through that. I don't care where the 618 level is. Got to get through that downtrend. Lower high, lower high. If we don't, if we glance off of it, even slightly above the 618, watch out below. You know, we've poked down like this before and went ripping off. So highly likely that we get the next big run. Now look at that, right up to the 1618. Imagine that. 263, 277. Nice potential. Alrighty. UNH has been working that roadmap line. Work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, work it. So the 3-wave move potential. I do have an upside target, but 3-wave potential right now where This move down is just copy paste, make 2 of them. They're exactly the same size. Pull it over here, right in that zone, and we could extend down to the 1272. So 510. We came up really close right there. Look, see that low right there? It was really close. Possibly extend down to the 501, 500 area right there. Simple as that. I'd watch for that. Now, if that was a lower low, so that could be it. Possibly could be it. Not high confidence that's it. Feel better if those 2 moves were at least equal. We did reject right there. Didn't get any green candles at all, hardly. We had that one doji that didn't go anywhere. So if we can break back above that area right there, where that consolidation is at this point, yeah, it does look likely that that 618 is in the right spot with that consolidation right there. But if we can get above that, probably coming out up here to at least the 565 area, if not the 580 area right there. All right, NVIDIA keeps pushing higher like a beast. Look at that, keeps rocking higher. 1618 right up there at 571. Didn't quite touch it today. The high today, 568.35. A little bit higher. You know, if NVIDIA and AMD hit their 1618s at the same time, could indicate that the market's going to roll over. I'm just saying, like, the 2 big competitors come together. And this thing's already hit the 1618 SMH. That's a semiconductor ETF. SOXL didn't. Oh, that one's lagging a bit. SOXX. That one's lagging a bit. So iShares, BlackRock's not doing so hot. I don't know. Anyway, DPZ. If I say anything you like, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. DPZ pushing on out finally. Beating the GPL1 drugs. Getting ahead. Potential to push out to 434, possibly 467. That 467 is major resistance up there, so we may shoot right up in there. Or resistance. It's getting dark in here. Sun going down. It's getting dark in here. I guess that's hot in here, right? Not dark in here. Kimberly says it works. All right. So that's DPZ. Probably got some upside targets. Maybe resistance at that 434. Maybe 465, 67, somewhere in there. 460. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, just lucky, right? Patrick Sledge. All right. KMI, Kinder Morgan. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, gosh. Look at that nastiness. Don't trade this stuff. Unless you're just getting shares because you work for the company. Why? Don't screw with that. It's not going anywhere. Hadn't gone anywhere. When's the last time it was going anywhere? Back in COVID. Popped up after COVID and stopped. Stopped dead in its tracks. Not been doing anything. $3 range. That sucks. Don't screw with that. Ugh. Gross. Set your alert up here at 20. If it breaks above 20, come back and look at it. Otherwise, gross. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like that one. Sorry, Gary. That one sucks. All right. XCN, I think is what you're asking for. Let's see. Trying to figure out which one to use. Yeah, let's just look at Coinbase. That looks like it's going in the toilet. What is that? 0.4 cents? 0.00. No, it's 0.04 cents. Ouch. If we get below that, watch out. Could we break above? Could we hold that and turn up? Sure. Resistance probably right there where that little intermediate high was. Right there. I don't have all my cool like graphics and push buttons and auto text and all that stuff. So sorry about that. But there you go. That's what we got. And moving on. Moving on. Remember, I got another show coming up at 8 p.m., so I got to save some energy today. Can't just keep on. Let's see. URA. Golly. Still bullish. Following the arrow. Imagine that. Just getting lucky. 35, 40. Been my long-term targets. Since all the way back here in 21. Haven't given up yet. Still expect that. And the chart just keeps confirming that's where we're going. It was confirmed back here. We just took like a year and a half consolidation. Now we're back on the train here. Probably gonna come up into this 35.40, maybe even 49.50. We'll see. I have calls sold at 40. Anyway, IONQ. Thanks for all the thumbs up. I appreciate it, everybody. And I can actually see it. This version of the software is a little different. It shows me like when you guys react to the video. So IONQ looks like we're going on down in a blaze of glory. Rejected at that 618. That's what I always warn about right there. Watch for that right there. 850. Now this is also right in the $10 area, which is sketchy. Not always accurate, so be careful. But and it's also inside lower high price action. That just looks rough. I'll be surprised that company stays in business. I mean, let's be honest. Look, that looks pretty horrible. That looks pretty horrible. That looks pretty horrible. That's the only thing that looks semi not horrible. And we'll see what happens. Quantum computers. I'm not sold it's ever going to be a technology, but Coca-Cola Consolidated. You know that's not Coke. That's a KO is actual Coke. That one looks garbage. It's a bottler. It actually looks pretty darn good. I mean, let's probably do a pullback. Look at that wicked move. You know what happens after wicked moves? Look. You know what happens? Do you see what happens after crap like that? You see this, right? Right here? You know what's going to happen. Whether it happens from here, or happens from here, or happens from, slightly higher. You see what happens. Starts getting that, and then we go, ah! You know where that hits? Possibly the roadmap line. Be careful. Be careful. All right. I got some kind of error. Not sure what that is. And I just ripped through a whole bunch of tickers. So SGD. Got to shoot for a whole bunch more. SGD going down in a blaze of glory. That's garbage. Doesn't even have enough history to get me a roadmap line. So 87 cents. Are you kidding me right now? Garbage. I'd write garbage on the chart if I could. Melly. We do that every week. It's not really changed any. Next upside targets. Potentially 11 or 1711 or 1777. Not really giant upside targets there. It's getting tighter and tighter, these little pullbacks. We need a bigger one like that. Be careful. That can definitely pull back very quickly in a big way. All right. EPD. is just sideways. Don't mess with that, dude. Gone flat. It's probably on one of my lists, but rejected off the 618 so far. SVIX. SVIX. How high does it go? Well, if we get a freak out in the market, this one's going to drop. Look for resistance at 41. This is going to be, I bet it's some, I don't know if it's leveraged or not. It's just inverse VIX on a daily basis. Yeah, so 41 is going to be the resistance. Watch out. I like SVXY better than SVIX, but to each their own. You can pick whatever you want to, trade whatever you want. LEU is looking like a consolidation. It's kind of going sideways after that peak right there. It's went sideways and hit the roadmap line. That's kind of what I expect the S&P 500 to do. A little bit is what I expect that to happen on the S&P. And we topped out right where all these other highs are. Look at that. That high, that high, that high. Made a marginal higher high. Back to the lower high that we topped out here. That's a lower high. Highly cautious. I would be watching that 46.50 area like a hawk. We get below there at all. It's coming down. Coming back down. Could come right back down in this zone right here. Very quickly. All right, that's LU. Amazon. I didn't miss. Wow, if I missed it, I'm sorry. I didn't see it. The chat is not my normal chat. I have all one screen. I don't have like multiple screens like I normally do, so I do apologize if I miss anything. I am but one man show. One show. Yeah. 160 still that upside resistance, the top of the box. We are in the target. I mean, that target stood for, what, a year? It was like this time last year when I drew this oval right here. And I just pulled it over, extended it. I thought we would get there back in the summer. It took us a little longer to get there. It took us into the fall, into the winter. And still expecting that on the backside here. Back down to 114 or so. That's Amazon for you. PLTR. And when you throw multiple tickers in one, I may not get it. PLTR sitting at the roadmap line. Does it bounce? I don't know. It's going to have to do some work. On the most basic, it's got to get back above that. Right there. Got to get above that zone to go higher. If it doesn't, watch out below. We're right on the roadmap line, and this has been one heck of a move up. So zooming out, looking at that, that's 5 waves up, higher high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 618 retrace right down in this area. It would not surprise me one bit to see that kind of retrace. That would be where I would actually expect it to come down to. If we get below, missed the arrow, that zone. All right. And Sprint. No, Sentinel. Sprint is no longer. It's part of T-Mobile. Used to be Sprint. And potential to go higher, but that's at that resistance where it consolidated for quite a while. Can it break higher? That's a good question. Good question indeed. 29.31 on the upside. If we reject that area, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we could come back to the roadmap line very quickly. And TSM, Taiwan Semi, lower high so far. Super cautious. We rejected off of that prior high. Nothing clear. If we can get above that resistance, 116, 125. If we don't, we could extend down to the 79 area. That's a big range. It's $20 to the downside with only 16 to the upside. It's kind of a coin flip at this point. AVGO, I thought I already did that one. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I already did this one. Yeah. Yeah, I already did that one. Use the rewind. It's back there somewhere. WMT is pushing that gap fill resistance right there. It's got resistance at 168. There's not a lot you could do. Not a lot I can do. You could be in here aggressively at this point, but it may stop right here at the gap fill and reject. Now, if it can get through there, 175 on the upside, but I don't have high hopes at this point for making it through. That was a giant gap down, and that's a lot of resistance to work its way through. So market's open 6 o'clock. Got about 2 hours for the next show on Zoom. Won't be on, let's see, Beth, MRVL, Marvel, not the superheroes, but the chip company. Breaking higher, rejecting prior high. Seeing this a lot lately. Watch out for that retrace right there. If it can hold that. Seeing a lot of these lower highs. Significant retrace will be all the way to the roadmap line. We get that like 30% of the time. Watch if we can get that breakout 70% of the time, be somewhere up there around 73, 74. We might just do this before we can get there, though. We might. Don't want to crush your hopes and dreams. Already did that, Pat. And did Disney. And UVXY is garbage. Decaying garbage. Absolute decaying garbage. There's no chart pattern. Except going lower. It's probably going to reverse split when it gets back down to 5. They may go into liquidation this time. All right, Mora is probably going back down to 14. Right there. 618 retrace. That's from the prior move even. Clean this. I mean, hit major resistance up there. Roadmap line's back down here at 14 at this point. Could go as low as 12. If you're not prepared for that, I'm sorry. I tried to warn everybody we're probably going to sell on Bitcoin spot ETFs. So I try my darndest. There we go. Probably coming down somewhere in this zone right there before we find support. 12, 14, 16, somewhere down there. I got kind of bearish 2 Sundays back. Not this past Sunday, but Sunday before that. I was kind of bearish on crypto if you were in my crypto power plays. I told everybody kind of consider the fact that a lot of stuff looks pretty bearish. Sorry if I didn't make that clear, but I wasn't expecting a lot of bullishness out of the ETF approvals, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing rotation out of stuff like Mara, Riot, into the spot ETFs. We're seeing rotation out of Grayscale with the higher fees and into these other spot ETFs. So we'll see what happens. I think we'll get overdone. We'll probably suck too much out of these crypto miners into the spot ETFs, so we'll see some reversal, some of that money flowing back the other way. We'll probably do that, I don't know, 2-3 times before we strike the balance. It's a similar relationship between gold miners and gold. We see that kind of back and forthy action. So, all right, Celsius, CELH. This one messes with me because it reverse split. Once we break above that prior high, game on for the higher targets. 76, 86. If we reject that high, let's just say we get up to the 76. We could be on the way down to 40. Ouch. Those are some big moves considering we split 3 for 1. So that's Celsius for you. Snap. Snap, 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 snap. Probably come back to the roadmap line. And AAP is consolidating under the roadmap line. That's resistance. And TOST is potentially bouncing off the roadmap line. And the downside targets. Be down here around 12. If we get below this zone right in there, that's support. Get below that, watch out. If we can hold it, watch upside. But I can't really run an upside until it happens. We have major resistance going higher all through there. On toast in U and new holdings. I thought that was new core. Under 10. Poking up through. Got resistance going higher from the IPO. If we can get above that, cleans it all up. That could have been all the correction. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe. That was the lowest low. Could push up. Oh, man. If we get up to the top of that box and then do a 618 retrace, that's bullish. So watch for rejection at 12, back down to 5. And then if we do a bounce from there, it could go up pretty big. Yeah, up to 30. So it could go from 5 to 30. That'd be a pretty sweet move. That's like 600, 500x return. Not too shabby. I mean, 500%, 5x return. Not too shabby at all. Already did BA. Already did Mora. DIA. Going down in a blaze of glory. That's under $1. Not even worth my time. DIA was the one I was supposed to be doing. DIA. Consolidating. Probably going to roll. That's right at the 1618. Would not surprise me to see a major retrace. Wow. That's got a long way to go. Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood right there would be a fast retrace. TGLS. Yeah, still doing the bullish thing. I'm still bullish long term. This is years. Years. I mean, I don't have it drawn years, but this is like over here. Even if this way C, it's like still way over here. So somewhere out here, I mean, target. I'm probably gonna step up at 90. That's like, I get it at 30. That's 3 times the money. I mean, come on. That's a pretty good trade. So, just sitting and waiting. There's no, it could do an intermediate retrace, bounce off the roadmap line. Don't know, don't care, not watching it, really. That's a long-term trade. PRU. Prudential. That looks like the 5th wave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would probably expect a retrace back down into this zone, right down in here. Watch for that to break down, similar to BA. That was PRU. BTBT is doing the retrace thing, right down to the roadmap line. Lowest low, highest high. Right in the vicinity. If we get below 243, watch out for $1.51. That's support. It's at support. Like, so we want to see it turn and burn here, but may not be able to. Alrighty. Yeah, if you want me to keep doing this, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give me thumbs up, likes, and already did. You know, SVXY has no chart to it. It's just a pattern. Like this is a leveraged long, leveraged short. Already passed the 618 extension. Waiting for the pullback when VIX spikes. So it's not a normal company type mover. It's got its own special things going. If you don't understand that, should keep hanging with me. I'll explain it one day or another. Hack. One day when I'm not already 70 minutes into the 30 minutes of awesome. Hack is touching the extensions there. Probably going to sometime or another come back to the roadmap line over here. And SYM is just consolidating at the roadmap line once again. It has now created a bigger resistance zone. Once it gets above there, target 73 on the upside. Watch for support right here. Invalidates the trade at below 29. Just doing nothing. That's why I bought shares. So watching for this to break above here and then get continuation up to there. IWM is going down to the roadmap line, pretty sure. Pretty quickly. Right down in that zone, right around 185, 186, 187, somewhere in there. How high is AMD going? Down more than likely. Already went through that. ASGD. AMD is in the history. If you missed anything, right down there, there's a bar right under me, right there. Click that bar, slide it back, and go find what you're looking for. Nope, not even messing with that. Sorry, Patrick. Yeah, EKG. Yeah. Yeah. And mRNA. Did it turn finally? Or is it still going down? Down on a blaze of glory. Come on now. Look at this. Look at this. This is a long-term market roadmap bounce going down. 56, 46 would be where I expect it to go. On the next move down. Down, 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 down. And look, we're correcting out this move. That 618 could be support at 52. We're not quite there. We've kind of bounced in that vicinity. We've gotten in the vicinity. If I draw the support box, you know, if we ignore what I just drew first, we did kind of glance it, but I think we're going to go deeper because already finding rejection just like we have in the past. All right. J&J. Added puts. I mean, 52 looks like where we're going to. Look at this. Why? Why do you mess with it? It has nothing clear. This is not. Just a choppy, hot mess of sugar. Bullshit. That just looks horrible. What do I expect? I expect that. But in a choppy, ranged fashion. Alrighty. Apple. I thought I hit Apple somewhere in there, but I guess not. Oop. Zoom her up. So, there was a giant target on Apple right there. And this is probably a lot of stuff for a lot of people. Too much stuff, in fact. So, clear it all off. Look at this. I got alerts all over the place. Because there's nothing clear. The break above 195 is a trade. Up here. Anything underneath that, there's nothing. All right, if we break below these prior lows, probably going up down. How low? Probably down to 159 at least, if not 150. Somewhere in this zone. If we get below that prior low, like 179. If we break above 195, and what this leaves though is a giant gray area where we gap down and there's no certainty. Coin flip zone. 205 on the upside, 212, maybe 159 on the bottom side. Yeah. Sorry. Apple's not clear. NCHL, or no, NCLH. Golly. Well, continuation of the prior things I said. Sideways. Alrighty. Looks like it caught up, finally. Yeah, you see I got my sweatshirt on. My AC was not keeping the house warm with the 2 foot of snow over the fan, over the condenser. We just have electric heat. We don't even have a gas or anything because it doesn't usually get that cold here. So, yeah, I don't have fireplace. I don't have, there's no backup heat. So I hope they don't turn on hope they don't do the rolling blackouts because I don't got no heat. Anyway, yeah, stay safe as always. I got another show coming up, 8:15, or 8 o'clock on Zoom. I'll throw the link in to Discord, trying to get all my words out. So if you want to come hang out with me, I'll talk about crypto for about an hour and a half this evening. Otherwise, I'll see everybody later. Bye for now. Give me a thumbs up, like if you heard anything that helpful, and make sure you subscribe because I'm going live again at 9:15 in the morning. Bye for now. Have a great day, everybody.